Hey guys, so I haven't really done any live stuff before, maybe one video, so hopefully this isn't too bad. But I'm here cleaning my Omtech laser, and I thought I would just kind of take you along on a little bit of the process and some interesting things that I've found, and I don't know if any other laser people have come across this. So I'm here cleaning my laser, and I'm in the process of actually upgrading my fume extraction. So currently I am using a 6-inch port on the back with a Cloud Ray 6-inch fume extractor. So when I took it off, because I'm selling it and actually upgrading to an 8-inch because it's double the CFM, just to hopefully get better fume extraction and just less smell, I really noticed how much caking I got on the blades of the fan. So one thing I thought that would maybe kind of be interesting is to maybe add a filter. So I went ahead and grabbed one of these Filter Right ones that you can get at Lowe's. I actually really like them. And the reason I got the 1900, so they've got different versions of this, but the reason I got the 1900 is it says it will go all the way up to candle soot. I don't know if you can see this, and even finer than that. Now the 1500, which is the model below this, I don't believe it stops at like viruses, so it doesn't do candle soot. So I'm going to actually add this inside the bottom to my laser bed. So let me show you what I'm doing here. So this little exhaust here is actually where all my fumes get sucked out through my port. So I'm actually going to add this filter right here. And so as fumes get sucked out, it traps all of the dust and fine particles. And that keeps my fan on my fume extractor from getting so cagged with soot and creosote and stuff like that. Because the problem I see long term, and I've only been running this for maybe about 3 months, maybe a little bit more, is that the more buildup you get on those blades, the more it could have the potential of throwing it out of balance. And it will after a while, because just after 3 months of use, and I wish I'd taken a picture of it before I cleaned it, but it was just really cagged in on there. So this hopefully is the first line of defense and kind of keeping your fan clean, because once it kegs up and starts to get really heavy on there, it's going to throw those fan blades out of balance, and it's going to start to make noise, and it's going to get worse and worse until it actually can cause your fan to fail. So I would highly recommend this. I don't know if anybody else has tried this. I'm going to go ahead and give it a try, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half so I can actually get a couple uses out of it. And I'll kind of report back on how effective this is, just to keeping the inside of my ductwork clean, the inside of that fume extractor fan clean, and all of that. So let's go ahead and get this cut in half here. And this was the smallest size that I could find. And this is a 14 by 14. They make a 10 by something that's a little bit longer, but I figured if I chopped the 14 in half, I could get quite a bit of use out of it. These aren't the cheapest things in the world. I think this one was like $18. But unfortunately, they don't make a cheaper version that is going to get you the filter rating that you need to extract soot and stuff, because that's predominantly what you're making when you're doing lasering. There's just a bunch of soot. So I'm just taking little wire cutters here, and I'm clipping through the grates on this. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It doesn't need to be an exact science, and I kind of want to save the edging on this as much as possible, just to kind of keep this filter from just completely falling apart. Okay. So now I'll go through on the other side. Good. All right, I'm going to grab some scissors here. So that will just fit right there over that exhaust, and it shouldn't impede my flow at all. Now once this does get caked up and ready to change, obviously it's going to decrease your suction. But that's something obviously you should keep track of. Just kind of folding those edges over here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and green painter's tape this. I mean, you could use duct tape if you wanted. I don't particularly want to have to deal with the duct tape residue all over the place. Yes, this is bright green and not the prettiest, but I shouldn't see this once I have my bed back on. And I'm going to seal all the way around this. Just to make sure it's not trying to pull smoke from underneath and it's actually pulling from the top here. There's good there. Let's add one more on the other side. And I think we should be good. Perfect. So that should allow lots and lots of surface area for smoke to extract on there, and at the same time hopefully protecting all the nastiness that gets in the ductwork and blows outside. Mainly it's to protect the fan, keeping it from getting all that buildup on it. So while I've got you here, let me go ahead and talk about the next thing, just because I'm going ahead and doing maintenance on my laser, just to, because it's time. And what I am doing currently now, dropping stuff here, trying to get the little metal bits, is I'm going ahead and cleaning my knives on the bed, and then I'm also cleaning the honeycomb bed. Now the honeycomb bed, they get pretty nasty and gunked up. And I am using this Orange Tools bit cleaner. It comes in a spray bottle. This stuff works fantastic. I use this on my table saw blades. You just spray it on there and then just let it sit for a while and the stuff just melts right off. I'm also using it on the knives. Just spray it on there and the knives will just come clean. So I've already sprayed this on my stuff outside, and I also number my my knives that I take off because I put them in a sequence. And one thing I found with a large surface area on a CO2 laser on the honeycomb beds is they have the potential to sag just a tiny bit from the middle, just because they are quite heavy. And so sometimes I have arced my knives underneath the honeycomb bed just a little bit to keep the certain parts of the middle from sagging. Then I can go over back with a straight edge just to make sure that everything lays perfectly flat. But I've numbered them so I know how to put them back in, just because I don't want weird ones on the sides. But anyways, let's go take a look and see how they've come out since I've sprayed them. So these have been sitting for a few minutes, and just making sure I got them all coated. You can see all of this stuff just wiped right off. It's pretty nasty. So I may just give them another squirt down, just because it looks like there's still a little bit of residue on them. Now, if you're using this on, say, actually table saw blades, they tell you don't need to actually wash it off at all. And it's supposedly, environmentally friendly stuff. It's not like terrible for the environment, which means it probably doesn't have caustic chemicals in it to make it flammable. So it shouldn't bother your laser if you just want to wipe these off when you're done. Then you shouldn't, worry about having to have any flare-ups or anything like that. So, but creosote that gets on these from cutting all the wood gets nasty and gummy and gets really sticky. And it'll be interesting after I clean this, because this is actually the first time that I've cleaned these, to see how the buildup is after using this stuff, just from kind of putting it on and wiping it off. And they really don't need to be perfect. It's just to kind of, make them look nice again if you want. And then I suppose it could help prevent fires in the long term, just because if these get so nasty that your laser's hitting a bunch of buildup, and I mean, it's potential you could have a flare up. So let's set that aside and go take a look at our honeycomb bed, see how it's doing. And this one I'll probably have to rinse off, so you can see how much buildup is on this one here. So this one I'll probably just rinse off with the hose and put this one back in. Just because you can't really get in here and get any of that off by scrubbing. I mean, I suppose I have got a little scrubber I could probably use on this. We'll just see. In any case, it does make it come off pretty nice. Well, guys, that's really all I got for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it wasn't too annoying with the camera, just because I've never really done this a whole lot. But if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, leave them below. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.